How many exiles have the Jewish people known since way beginning on? In fact, the parsha of this week is Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha, which God tells Avram Avinu, go into exile. Leave your comfort zone. And since then, how many exiles did we have to suffer? So while you figure this out, let us first say chapter of Tehillim to say thank you to God and to pray for the well-being of our soldiers, the hostages, and all of us. Chapter 100. Mizmor l'soida, Baruch Shemoy, ki toiv Adonai le'olam chasdo v'yad dor v'dor emunosoi. Our faith in you is eternal, and your faith in us is eternal. For that, let's give some tzedakah and charity, and go back to my question. So we know, first slavery in Egypt, Mitzrayim. Yaakov had to go buy food, which this eventually brought all his family down to Egypt and stayed in Egypt. First we were welcome guests, and then we became slaves. And then we became hostages. After 10 years, we were freed. We came to Mount Sinai. Eventually we built the temple. But then became the destruction of the temple. And since then, we have known one calamity after another, one exile after another. And we have the famous saying of the prophecy of Daniel, where Daniel says, V'arba chevon ravrevon, solkan min yamo, shonyon do min do. And he says, I saw in my vision by night 4 great beasts, where he hints to the 4 exiles. The first was like a lion, another beast similar to a bear, and then there was one similar to a leopard. And then he says, as I looked into the night vision, there was a 4th beast, fearsome, dreadful, and very powerful. So the prophet Daniel prophesies about the 4 exiles in addition to Egypt. Because it says Egypt is the crown, so to say. Kol hagoli is nikra Hashem Mitzrayim. All the exiles are called after Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim was the precursor for all of them. So which are those 4 exiles? So the first one is Babylon, Golus Bavel, which was 423 years before the Common Era, lasted till 372 years before the Common Era. Eventually from Babylon came Persia, which this was till 348 before the Common Era. Yavan, Golus Yavan, Greece, Altona, and its assimilationism, which lasted till the 140 years before the Common Era. And then came Edom, known as Rome. Now Rome is the one which is called the one which Daniel sees in the vision. Didn't know what kind of a beast, fearsome, dreadful, and very powerful. And as we see, it's been lasting for 2,000 years. But here's an amazing prophecy from Reb Chaim Vital. Reb Chaim Vital was foremost student of the Arizal, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria, the founder of the Lurianic Kabbalah. And he says the following on the verse in Tehillim, on 2 verses. In Psalm 124, it says the following. Luli Hashem shohay alonu yomer Yisrael. If not for the fact that God is protecting us, and we Jews recognize this, that God is protecting us. Then it says further, Luli Hashem shohay alonu bekum aleinu adam. If not for God that protected us when man rose up against us. And the Reb Chaim Vital asks the following question. Why does it repeat it twice, if not for God that has been protecting us? First protecting us, and then it says against the man. Which man is this? Says Reb Chaim Vital that you should know, in addition to the 4 exiles, at the last of days there will be an additional one. And this one is going to be the most difficult one. And this is going to be the one that was going to be in the hands of the Yishmaelim, the Arabs. Yishmael is called Pere Adam, wild man. That's what the pasuk says. Bekum oleinu Adam. When Yishmael will get up against us, we should know God is protecting us. A prophecy written 400 years ago, very pertinent for today. But the answer is, God is protecting us, and will take us out of this one too. But please, may it happen today.